And sit well. I invite you to close your eyes, settle into the space, settle into your body. Begin to tune into your breath. Just breathing naturally here. Just noticing the inhales and the exhales. Try to release any tension or effort. Every inhale, maybe think about growing a little taller, reaching the spine and the crown of the head towards the ceiling. And every exhale, maybe you can release a different part of the body, your shoulders, your jaw. Maybe take this moment of quiet to set a dedication or intention for practice today. Maybe something you can carry with you the rest of the week. And gently bow your chin to your chest and go ahead and move through some easy, slow neck rolls. Moving nice and slowly, as if we're moving through molasses. And if there's any areas that needs a little extra love, maybe pause there. And take the circle in the other direction. Very gently. And then come back to a neutral neck and begin to take some nice big rolls with the shoulders. Really exaggerate this movement, almost like you have wings that you're flapping. Try to get this full range of motion. And then take them in the opposite direction. Really, I find I can round my back even better going this way, but whatever feels good for you. And then bring your hands to your thighs or your knees and begin to take some circles with the torso. And thinking about lengthening the spine, lifting the ribs out of the hips. And maybe bring your hips and your seat into this motion so you're rocking around the tailbone, rocking back on your sits bones, rocking forward. Just whatever movements feel good for you here. Maybe play with arching and rounding the spine. And then go ahead and take those circles in the other direction. Okay. And still connecting to your breath. And come find stillness. Interlace your fingertips. Flip your palms. Reach forward. Feel your shoulders spreading across the back. Pull the belly towards the spine and really round the back. Maybe even roll back onto the back of your sits bones. And then with an inhale, we're going to pull from our hands all the way towards the ceiling, coming directly on top of our sits bones, lifting our ribs directly over our hips, our shoulders stacked over the ribs, over the hips, and our arms reaching up, growing really tall. And without losing the lift in the ribs, can you relax your shoulders away from your ears? Give your neck a little bit more space. And then unwind the fingers. Left hand presses, right arm reaches up and over for an easy side bend. Really rooting down through that right hip. And inhale, come back up through center. Right hand plants, left arm reaches up and over. And once again, bring the attention to your left outer hip. Really glue it to the mat. And inhale, back up. Let's bring the hands by our sides, open up the feet, stomp them about max width distance. Our hands are planted behind us, fingertips pointing towards the back or on an angle, and just move through, knocking your knees from side to side. Windshield wipering out the legs, the hips, the low back. And just let it feel good. And the next time your knees drop over to the right, leave them there and go ahead, take a twist. Left hand comes in front of the right knee. Inhale for some lift. And exhale to gently twist your ribs around your spine towards the back of the room. And inhale, come back through center. Take a few more windshield wipers. And then let the knees drop over to the left and take a twist in the opposite direction. Inhale, lifting the heart. Exhale, gently twisting towards the back of the room. And inhale, come back through center. Plant your feet so that they're about hip width apart, so that they're kind of shooting straight out from your sits bones. Your hands will plant directly underneath your shoulders. Fingertips point towards the back of the room. And then on an inhale, we're gonna lift our hips, coming into a reverse tabletop. Really squeeze the glutes, engage the hamstrings. Maybe if it feels good, you drop your head back. Inhale here. And exhale, gently tuck the chin and lower the hips back onto the earth. And because I like doing this so much, leave your hands where they are and simply shift your hips closer to your heels to open up the front shoulders and the chest. Inhale here. And gently come back. Extend your legs long and grab your left ankle and knee and begin to just rock your whole shin and leg from side to side, maybe circling the foot, exploring the range of motion in your hip here. Maybe just holding onto the foot and see if that gives you more leverage or different sensation. Maybe you just like holding it into the chest. Just listen to your body and what it needs. And then let that go. Grab the other leg. And go ahead, rock it out. Take your circles. Just explore your range of motion here. Waking up the hips. They say you carry a lot of your emotions in your hips. So as you open them up, you kind of can release those emotions or those tensions, that stress. So during this quarantine time when there's a lot of new emotions, it's kind of nice to get into those hips and work them out, not just for the physical reasons. And then extend those legs long. We'll come to lie on our backs. Plant your feet so that they're about hip width distance, firmly on the earth. With an inhale, we're gonna lift our head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. Our palms are by our sides, also hovering off the earth. And then we're gonna just switch, kind of shift from side to side, reaching our right hand towards our right heel, and then the left hand towards the left heel, kind of going through a swivelly penguin motion. Side to side, engaging the core, using the obliques. Pull the navel into your spine. Try to relax the tension in your jaw. Just a few more. And gently release. Lift your legs so that your shins are parallel to the earth, creating a reverse tabletop just with your shins. Hands will come to your upper thighs, right on top of your knees. And inhale to press your knees into your hands, hands into your knees. Option to stay here, or for an added challenge, you can lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Really feeling the belly engaged. Holding for 3, 2, and 1. Gently release, just hug your knees into your chest. Maybe rock your head from side to side, let it go. And then draw your knees in towards your armpits, coming into happy baby. So either grabbing on to your thighs, your shins, ankles, or the outer edges of your feet. Maybe gently rock from side to side if that feels good. Absolutely not required. Really bring your attention to your tailbone. See if you can lengthen your spine so that your tailbone is almost completely making connection with the mat, so that your entire back is flat on the earth. That means you need to shift your hands to your shins or your thighs. That's fine. And then gently close the legs and begin to rock and roll your way. We're gonna meet in a tabletop position. Maybe cross over your ankles, roll over, or however you wanna get there. So our knees are directly underneath our hips, our wrists are directly underneath our shoulders, fingers spreading wide, pressing firmly through the earth, feeling the back engage. The shoulders are spreading across the back. Inhale to drop the belly, opening up the heart. Exhale to round the spine, turn the gaze in towards your navel. Inhale, drop the belly, opening up the chest, maybe looking up. And exhale, tuck the tail, round the spine, turn inward. Inhale, open it up. And exhale, round. Inhale, open. And exhale, round. Come find a neutral spine. Send the right leg back, and then the left leg back. We're in a high plank. And exhale, we're gonna lower all the way down to our stomach in one straight line. Option, of course, is to lower your knees first in that variation. Untuck the toes, hands are directly underneath the shoulders. They should not have moved. With an inhale, we lift the heart, drawing our shoulders towards each other and down the spine, gazing just past the tip of the nose. Baby cobra. And exhale, lower down. Let's walk our fingertips so they're just wider than the mat, tent up on our fingers. Elbows are pointing straight up towards the ceiling, so we're making a right angle with our forearm and upper arm. And then inhale, press into your fingertips, draw your shoulder blades together, coming into a larger cobra variation. And And then exhale, ripple your way back down. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, rippling up. And exhale, lower down. Bring your hands underneath your forehead. And just gently swivel out the hips from side to side. And then hands come underneath the shoulders. Bring your seat all the way back to or towards your heels. Coming into a child's pose. Whatever variation feels good for you. Maybe you have a pillow between your knees and your thighs to give you a little bit of extra support. Maybe you have tucked toes. Whatever feels good for you. And as you guys know, if anything I call out through practice today doesn't sound like you, doesn't feel good in your body, feel free to skip it or modify as needed. And when you're ready, tuck your toes if they're not already. And then inhale to lift your hips, come into your downward facing dog. Feet are about hips width distance. Creating that upside down V shape, really pressing into your hands to feel your shoulders wrap around your body. Really opening up the armpits here. And don't be afraid of a generous bend in the knee. We want a nice flat back, shooting energy out through the tailbone. And go ahead, take a few moments to pedal out the feet. And find some new space in the body, get the kinks out. And shake your head yes and nod it no. And as you're ready, gently begin to walk your feet to meet your hands. Coming into a forward fold at the top of the mat. Generous bend in the knees. Hands clasp opposite elbows. And maybe sway it out from side to side. Really try to let the neck go. Unfurrow the brow. Just let your spine pour towards the earth. And then release the clasp of the elbows and slowly roll one vertebra at a time, all the way up to stand. Meeting in Tadasana, mountain pose. I always like to roll my shoulders down and up towards each other on my back when I get here. Standing proud, standing strong, legs are engaged. You feel your kneecaps pulling up, core is engaged, navel draws in and up. And again, our shoulders are broad, drawing towards each other and down the back. Inhale, sweep the arms up, high prayer. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come to a flat back, hands to shins. And exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot back. Step the left foot back, inhale. Exhale, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, high plank. And exhale from here or from knees all the way down to your stomachs. Untuck the toes. Inhale to lift the heart, baby cobra. Really nice. And exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg high, down dog split. And exhale, step the foot between the hands. Inhale, the left foot meets the right. We're in a forward fold. And exhale here. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up, high prayer. And exhale, pull it in through heart center. Inhale, arms sweep up, high prayer. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. And exhale, fold. Step the left foot back. Inhale the right foot to meet the left, high plank. And exhale, lower all the way down to your stomachs. Untuck the toes. Inhale, lift the heart, peeling the shoulders towards one another. And exhale through bent knees. Make your way back to your downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg high, down dog split. And exhale, step the foot between the hands. Inhale, right foot meets the left. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up, high prayer. And exhale, put in through heart center. And just close your eyes for a moment. Allow the mind to settle. Just notice any thoughts that might be popping up and allow them to keep floating on by. Inhale, sweep the arms up, high prayer. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Dad, can you flatten the middle part of your back more? Like, think about shooting your stomach towards the earth. So much better. And exhale, fold. Step the right foot back, step the left foot back, and then come into your downward facing dog. Option to stay here, or inhale, come forward to your high plank. Exhale, lower half or all the way down. Untuck the toes, inhale for baby cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, come back to your downward facing dog. So as you guys know, those vinyasa flows are always optional. You can skip them, you can hang out in a child's pose, hang out in your down dog, or take whatever variation feels good for you. Inhale the right leg high, down dog split. And exhale, step that foot outside the right hand. So we're in a wide, low lunge. So your right hand is to the inside of your right foot. And just take a moment here, kind of rocking forward and back. Maybe you feel this in your front left hip. Maybe you feel it in your outer right hip. Depends where you're tight. I like to come up onto my fingertips, or if you're lucky enough and you have some blocks, grab them, maybe come on up onto your blocks. Find stillness. And with an inhale, we're gonna straighten the front knee, shifting the hips back in space, coming into this wide pyramid pose. If this is not very accessible for you, you can always bend the back knee and keep a little bit of a bend in the front. And then exhale back into that lunge. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Really engage the core. Try to keep the weight not 100% in your hands here. You don't want to be dumping into your shoulders. And then come back to the lunge. So our right knee is bent. And simply pivot all 10 toes so they're facing the left side of your mat. I'm sorry, you got a nice butt shot of me here. So our right knee is bent and our left foot is on the mat, left leg is extended. You should feel a nice deep stretch on the inner left hamstrings and leg. If this is too deep, you can always have your hands on your hips, all 10 toes facing the left side of the room. You can also have your hands on blocks or on the mat. And then gently begin to switch the bend. So the left knee bends, right leg straightens. And gently shift your weight from side to side, alternating which knee is bent. Just breathing some space into the inner thighs. And the next time your right knee bends, spin yourself back around and step the right foot to meet the left, high plank, and either go straight to your downward facing dog or cycle through your vinyasa, lowering half or all the way down. Inhaling for your upward facing dog or baby cobra. And exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg high, down dog split. And exhale, step the foot outside the left hand. If you have blocks or books, now's your good opportunity to use them. Maybe rock forward and back here, just exploring the range of motion, feeling the sensations in the body. Find stillness. And then inhale to slowly straighten the left knee, maybe bending the right. And then exhale, refine that wide lunge. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. One more, inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And then if you're on blocks, either take them with you or throw them away to the side and pivot all 10 toes towards the right side of the mat. Left knee stays bent. Right leg is extended. And then begin moving the hips from side to alternate the bend of the knee to explore the inner thighs on both legs. And some of us will be much higher. Maybe we're up here because the bending over is a little bit too challenging just with our personal anatomy. This is really great for your outer hips and glutes too, to strengthen them. And then the next time the left knee bends, pivot all 10 toes towards the front of the mat. Step the left foot to meet the right. You're in the high plank. And exhale, lower all the way down to your stomachs. Untuck the toes. Bring your fingertips nice and wide outside the mat once again. We'll do 3 rounds of those flowing cobras. So inhale, lifting the heart, pressing into the fingertips. And exhale, rippling back down. Inhale, peeling the heart up. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, peel the arms, not the arms, the chest up. And exhale, lower down. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Retuck the toes and re-find your way into your downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg high, down dog split. And exhale, step the foot between the hands. Spin the back heel down so that the left outer edge of your foot is parallel with the back edge of the mat. And then inhale to cartwheel your arms up, coming into warrior 2. Take a moment to find your pose. Check in with your shoulders. Make sure they're stacked directly over the hips. Sometimes we tend to lean forward too much. Want that even push-pull from both hands. And gazing over the right fingertips. Flip the front palm, tip it back, peaceful warrior. Catherine, maybe you gently support the belly underneath with your left hand. And then our right forearm comes to our right knee, coming into side angle. Try not to dump your weight into your right arm and shoulder. Engage the core and lift, almost as if someone's pulling you up with your left hand towards the ceiling, so that you're not just dumping everything into the right arm. Really nice, everyone. And then the left hand and the right hand are going to come to the inside of the right foot. Spin the back heel up, maybe heel toe the right foot to the outer edge of the mat. We're back in this wide, low lunge. And if it feels good for you, tap that back knee down, untuck the back toes. Then either stay here, maybe come directly into your lizard, coming onto your forearms or onto a block. Really getting into the right hip. I'm going to also offer up a variation of taking your right hand and gently pressing into your right knee, rolling to the outer edge of the right foot, opening up that hip a little bit more. Completely optional. You can be in your traditional lizard too if that feels nicer. And then come back through center. And maybe take one final breath in the lizard pose. And then slowly come back onto your hands, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and then step the right foot to meet the left, high plank, and either meet in a downward facing dog or cycle through your vinyasa, lowering half or all the way down, inhaling for upward facing dog or baby cobra, and exhale your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg high, down dog split. And exhale, step the foot between the hands. Spin the back, heel down. Inhale to cartwheel the arms up. Warrior two. Virabhadrasana 2. Take a moment to find your pose. And check in that your shoulders are stacked over your ribs or stacked over your hips. Inhale, flip the front palm, tip it back, peaceful warrior. And then exhale, left forearm to left knee, right arm reaches up towards the ceiling for side angle. Really nice, everyone. I don't see any shoulder earrings, which is awesome. Breathe here. And then gently plant both hands to the inside of the left foot, heel toeing the left foot to the outer edge of the mat. The back heel is spinning up. Tap that back knee down, untuck the back toes. And either go straight into your whatever version of lizard feels good for you. Maybe a gentle bend in the elbows. Maybe you're coming down to your forearms. Maybe you're coming down to blocks. Or if you'd like to, gently take your left hand and press it into that left knee, rolling to the outer edge of the left foot. Just open up the knee to the side, get a slightly different angle of the hip. And then gently come back to center and take one more full breath in whatever lizard variation feels good for you. And feeling good is a very subjective term. This could be extremely uncomfortable, but it's good for the muscles. And then hands replace the forearms, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and step the left foot to meet the right, high plank. Then either meet us in a downward facing dog or take an optional vinyasa. All right, so everyone can come down onto their knees for a second. Give you a little break. So I'm gonna cue pigeon pose. For those of you who are less familiar with pigeon pose or newer to yoga, probably talking to you, Dad, just bear with me and I'll show you a variation that we can do on your back that is more user-friendly and less intense on the knee. So everyone else, come back to your downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg high to your down dog split. And then we're gonna bring the right knee to the right wrist. And then the right ankle, did I say the right thing? The right knee to the right wrist. And then the right ankle is coming really right in front of the left hip. You tap the back knee down, untuck the back toes. Take a moment here, make sure your hips are square. So like if you were balancing here, your hip points are both facing forward and on an even playing field. If you notice that you're really sinking into one hip, grab a blanket, a block to prop underneath that hip so that you're still even. And then once you're wherever feels nice with your even square hips, take a gander at the back leg, make sure it's shooting straight behind you with your toes pointing straight out, that they're not sickling one side to the other. And then you can fold over that right shin, whatever amount feels good. If you're feeling a lot of pain in the right knee, then follow me. So for everyone who wants to take a different variation, we simply come onto our backs, cross the right ankle over the left knee, thread the hands behind the left thigh, and draw the figure four shape into your chest. It's the exact same stretch, but a little gentler on the joints. And just breathe here, letting it all go. And if you're on your stomachs, gently crawl your way back up onto your forearms. Tuck the back toes, plant the hands, and step your way back to a downward facing dog. If you're on your back, you can simply release the right leg and have both feet rest on the mat. One hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. If you're in your downward facing dog, option to take a vinyasa. And whatever variation you choose, inhale to lift that left leg. And exhale, either delivering the left knee to the left wrist, setting up for pigeon, or delivering the left ankle on top of the right knee, threading the hands behind the right thigh, and pulling the figure four shape into your chest. And breathing here. Relax your tongue. And if you're on your back, release the left leg, plant both feet on the earth. For everyone else, crawl back up onto your hands, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Don't step back, just shift the weight into your, the left hip now. Shift your weight into your left hip so that you're kind of sitting sideways, and then swing your right leg around. And if you're on your back, come to sit up. And we are going to, okay, this is where it gets complicated of me figuring out how to mirror you. So which knee is up? Okay, so that's your right knee is up. Okay, so left knee is gonna bend. So our left foot is, ignore me, our right knee is bent in towards our chest. We either have our left knee bent so that both of our feet are towards our seat, or the left leg is extended long in front of us. Either option is fine. We're gonna go for a twist. So Catherine, you can do the open way, the opposite way I'm cueing. So inhale, lift the left arm up, and exhale, twist towards that right side. Gaze can be over the right shoulder. Maybe it feels nice to hug the knee in towards your chest while you do this. And inhale, come back through center. Simply open up the legs, fan them out, and just switch the cross so the left knee is on top. Either extend the right leg long or bend it and tuck it by your seat, and make sure you're sitting evenly on both sits bones. And inhale, the right arm extends up towards the ceiling. And exhale, twist towards the other side. And inhale, come back through center. Unwind the legs. Grab the backs of your knees and slowly roll your way back down. Maybe take a few circles with the knees. Maybe take a happy baby just for a moment. Whatever final pose you need to close out practice. And as you're ready, just allow the legs to extend long on the mat. Allow the feet to flop out. Allow the arms to relax, palms face up. And coming into our final resting pose of Shavasana. Just let it all go. Slowly begin to deepen your breathing. Bring awareness back into the body. Maybe wiggling your fingers and your toes. Rolling out your ankles and your wrists. And as you're ready, reach your arms long overhead. Take a nice big morning stretch. Bend your knees, draw the soles of the feet to the earth. And gently roll over onto one side, using your arm as a pillow. And pause here. Just allow it to all sink in. And leaving the eyes heavy, make your way up to a comfortable seat, taking your time. And hands will come to prayer at heart center. We slightly bow our heads in gratitude for practice and for each other. Thank you all for being here today. It's always a pleasure. With peace, love, and gratitude. Namaste. Thank you, guys. And stop recording.